What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. I want to put this out there tonight because a lot of people that are just beginning their journey, their fitness journey, their health journey, their competitive journey, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you're getting into the working out type lifestyle, right? This fitness lifestyle. They'll read things that, may be fact, right? But there's pieces left out, which leaves them floundering for long periods of time. That could even be years, if not fucking decades, before they figure out what the fuck was being talked about is not exactly what they need. They need something else, but they just didn't understand. So what am I talking about? So the Muscle PhD put out a post on Instagram called the 15% rule. So the 5%. I always go 5% everything. Like 15% rule. And this was a study done. Listen to this, right? Let me read you this first, and then I'm going to pause for a second, and I'm going to ask you guys what you think. And of course, you can't tell me through the camera what you think is wrong with it. And I'm going to pause a second, and I'm going to tell you. So, okay, listen, right? So I'll give you that second to think about it before I say it, see if you're right. This study found that subjects need to consume about 15% above their maintenance calories in order to maintain about 15. So it's about. What does about mean? Okay, because to me, 15% is 15%. About 15% could be 12%, could be 10%, could be fucking 17%, 18%. Percents make a difference, right? So about. So there is no number. So before you're even looking for that blueprint of how, let's fix this fucking camera angle, make that shit fucking square. So before you even figure out what you need, you have to figure out what the fuck 15%. Is it 15%? Is it 17? Is it 14? Is there any difference? Does it make a difference? Like, these are questions that you need to know because there are people out there that 15% is not going to work. 12% is. And 15% is not going to work. 18% is. So you have to understand that, like, even when you're reading this stuff, you take these numbers as gospel, and that's not how it is. Like, your body is different than mine, his, this guy, everybody. So you have to understand that these things are not even a guideline. They're just like a kind of an introduction to the fact that you need to eat more if you're fucking training. Like, that's it. Now, stop the percent bullshit. Just, anyways. So, listen, right? So it says, use this information to adjust the body composition during intense training programs. To gain weight, add at least 15% to maintenance calories. To eat at baseline maintenance or baseline maintenance calories are slightly below, you will lose weight. Or slightly below. What the fuck? Okay. I'm going to pause here and say, what do you guys see wrong with this? This is where you put the Jeopardy music in. Okay, enough of that shit. Listen, 15% more calories, right? Well, first of all, it says eat baseline maintenance calories or slightly below to lose weight. So you're telling people to eat slightly below maintenance to lose weight. Where's the fucking groundbreaking? What? Like that's the most basic shit. But now they take it to another level. Whether it's actually more advanced, this information is actually more advanced than what this individual, Muscle PhD, actually put out there. He's given like this basic guideline that's going to fuck people up. And how? I'm going to explain it to you. So 15% calories. So let's say you needed to have 500 more calories. That was 15% of your fucking, your maintenance, 15% of your maintenance is 500 calories. You need to take in 500 calories more. Which macros in which ratios make up that 500 calories? It's not on there. It doesn't tell you anything about that. Should it be carbohydrates? Should it be fat? Should it be protein? Because let's face facts. If you're adding protein and if you're adding carbs and fat without adding protein, you're not technically taking in enough protein to maintain your muscle mass at this point because now you're deficient. You're in a caloric deficit. So if you didn't add the right amount of protein, you're going to lose muscle. Your body requires a certain amount of protein from amino acids just to maintain muscle. So let's say you took, the right amount of protein and carbs, but not the right amount of fats. Well, your body now needs to digest fat-soluble vitamins and make hormones. So now you're deficient in those fats, those essential fatty acids which are needed, which you need to take them in. Let's say you take in your protein and your fats and not your carbs. That's the least of our worries because your body it has stored glycogen. It can turn fat into energy. It can turn protein into energy or amino acids into energy. I mean, it can figure that out. So carbohydrates are the least one of your worries right there. But let's say the other two, you just make it up with that. Let's say carbohydrate-wise, you're now in a deficit because you don't have enough carbs. I mean, not a deficit, but you're in a surplus because you're up 15% from proteins and fats, but you don't have enough carbs. So not readily available energy that's ready to use. Your body has to go through a process of breaking it down, which is much harder. And now you do have lethargy and you're tired and you fucking don't feel good because your body is literally trying to break these things down because they have enough fucking energy source. So Mr. Muscle PhD What's the ratios? What is it? How do they do it? This is why calories are fucking bullshit. All these fucking plain simple shit. This will get you literally to the edge of the water, but you don't have a fucking cup or a bowl, or you don't know how to make your fucking hands into a cup. Your hand's like this and the water's not staying in it while you're trying to drink it because you don't have all the information. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, all these fucking experts, they're experts to a certain point. After that point, they have no fucking clue. Now, if it was me, personally, not the Muscle PhD, but me, I would begin with protein. I would start with my protein needs. I would say, okay, let's say I'm taking 150 grams of protein, right? And right now I started exercising vigorously or religiously or whatever they said in the thing. I think it was vigorously. So you're intensely exercising, right? Okay, well, now I got to look at, shit, we'll have to say it's weight training because this could be some kind of cycling thing because half the studies have nothing to do with weight training. They're like, well, Jerry, this VO2 max came from these cyclists. I'm like, I'm a fucking bodybuilder. Why am I worried about cycling? Fuck off. You know what I mean? So let's say, okay, now I'm like 150 grams of protein. I'm going to bump that to 100, maybe 175 grams of protein. Okay? And then I'm going to look at the carbs and go, man, let me look at the carbs. I'm going to bump that up from 300 grams of carbs to 350 grams of carbs. And the final thing what I would do is probably fill in the fats because most of us actually get in plenty of fats. You don't realize that. I got people that are coming to me eating 250 grams of fat. I'm like, are you fucking 600 pounds? No. Well, you don't need 250 fucking grams of fat. You know what I mean? You need like 80 to 100 grams of fat fucking max for your size. So fat is probably the one I would put in last, right? And of course, I'm always about the essential fatty acids, poly and monosaturated, not saturated fats, right? That's the missing piece of the puzzle that the Muscle PhD is not going to give you. And half the people out there with PhDs are not going to give you. And half the doctors are not going to fucking explain to you. I had one of my clients sit in front of a doctor, and this doctor told him, hey, you know what? You're fucking this age. You got to lose fucking some weight. And he goes, okay, what do I do? And he goes, just eat less and move around more. And he's like, what? Because I fucking work out 4 days a week. I do cardio every day. It must be my diet that I have to adjust. He's like, yeah, just eat less. And he was like, well, I mean, dude, should I eat less fat? And he's like, in general, just eat less. So now my client comes to me and says, hey, he told me to eat less. I said, okay, what the fuck are you eating? Right? So we go through everything. I said, okay, eat less. Well, we're not going to change your protein. That doesn't make any fucking sense. So now we look at, okay, maybe the fat can come down a little bit here, and maybe we can cycle carbs here. This will bring your body fat down, maintain your... The doctor had no fucking clue. He just told him to go out there and fucking run around in the parking lot and do jumping jacks and eat a salad for lunch. And I'm like, what? Like, that's the information. You guys are fucking went to school for fucking how many years for this shit? And that's the advice you're fucking giving him? Run around the parking lot, do some jumping jacks, some burpees, and fucking eat a salad? What the fuck? And then I kind of look around and I go, how many other people are getting information out there that it's like a piece of the fucking puzzle? Like, our lives are a puzzle. And that's one little fucking piece. We don't know what the fuck is going on with without the other pieces of the puzzle. So be aware, guys. Like, there's a lot of information out there that looks like it makes total sense, and it has science to back it up, and it has studies and doctors and lab coats and Bunsen burners and petri dishes and fucking all this shit going on in big words that you can't fucking pronounce. You got to break them down into 10 syllables and fucking sound out each piece of them to know what they say, and you're still only getting fucking half of the information. You leave there feeling all good about yourself, like, oh, I got this now. I understand because I have all the keys now. And you go off on your journey, and then what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. You fail. And then you revamp. You go, well, the doctor said this. Maybe there's new research. So then you go out and you look. Oh, new research says not 15% calories. But if you want to maintain your body weight, you have to train standing on your head with your eyes closed because 2 people that were sheep herders in fucking Bulgaria did that once, and guess what? They fucking grew 1 inch on their fucking bicep in a month, and you're like, well, fuck, I gotta do that. Next thing you know, these motherfuckers are bouncing on their heads, upside fucking down, with their eyes closed. You're like, fuck, when realistically, the truth is, you're not looking for the science. You're looking for the things that science left out. You're looking for the things that science doesn't study. Science doesn't give a fuck about bodybuilding, and if you're doing that, trying to decrease body fat, increase muscle mass, become healthier, become fitter, fitter, become more fit. You are bodybuilding. You're not a competitive bodybuilder, but you're bodybuilding. And doctors hate bodybuilding. They fucking hate it because they automatically have in their fucking head that if you're a bodybuilder, you're on steroids, you beat your fucking wife, you're gonna murder your fucking brother because you fucking have roid rage. They lose their fucking minds when they find out you're a bodybuilder. I've had doctors, my personal doctor, when I gained 60 pounds in 10 weeks on my first cycle, I told him, I said, I'm going on steroids. And he said, I don't think this is a good idea because they don't even do what you think they do. He's like, they don't really work that well. Like, studies have shown that they don't do that much. Actually, studies have shown that fucking you can sit on your ass and fucking grow muscle. Like, so I don't know what the fuck my doctor was talking about, which I don't find that true anyways, but it doesn't matter. And I said, okay. He said, does your mom know? And I said, yes. And he goes, she does? I said, yes. I don't hide anything from my parents. So months later, I came back. I walked in there at 173 previously. I walked back in there at 230 pounds. And he looked at me, and he'd known me since I was a kid. He was my doctor since I was a kid. He looked at me with fucking this face. You know that emoji? The fucking... That's how he looked at me, because the nurse practitioner, or his assistant, nurse practitioner I think it's called, put me on the scale and got my weight, and it was 230. So when he looks at the chart, he goes, 230? What the fuck? You got the wrong guy. So he comes in looking at the chart, and he's like, he looks at me and he goes, hey, wow. He's like, you're taking this workout stuff pretty serious. I said, I was before. I said, just added the steroids in. He was like, what? So he sat down, he put the file, he said, explain to me what you're doing. I told him, I said, I took some testosterone. This is what happened. I'm getting ready to do my next cycle now. I'm going to do equipoise and testosterone together. I said, I'm going to be creeping up towards the growth hormone, the insulin. And he was like, insulin? He's like, what are you using insulin for? He's like, that's for diabetics. You can't use that. I'm like, yeah, you just take the fucking shot of insulin and it's 10 grams of carbs for every fucking unit of insulin. He was like, what? There was no study on that. There was no study about how to use insulin. Dan Duchaine created that. Dan Duchaine, the fucking steroid guru, was the one that figured that out. My doctor had no clue. Most fucking doctors that specialize in diabetes at the same time wouldn't even understand how the fuck we're using it, or different types of insulin and how we're combining it with growth hormone and thyroid and IGF-1. They have no fucking concept. Even most endocrinologists don't understand how we're combining these drugs. But then they're the ones giving you advice about bodybuilding. Meanwhile, they know nothing about bodybuilding. Makes no fucking... I mean, I'm just like, it is what it is. This guy's the muscle PhD, which I guess he knows about bodybuilding, but he's doing the regular old science bullshit. Putting up stuff that's the same shit over and over and over again with missing pieces of the puzzle that gives you more confusion than facts and help. So hopefully you guys understand that there's many things out there that you're going to see on your journey that are going to make sense. You're going to be like, oh yeah, study. Logic, however, gets thrown out the window because the PhD and the science and all the big words trumps logic somehow. I mean, could you think about 1 second, think for 1 second, if you sat down with a muscle PhD and he told you, all right, increase your calories by 15%, you got your notebook, okay, by 15%, what would your next question be? Mine would be, okay, what ratios of protein, fats, and carbs is this going to be? That'd be my first fucking question. So why isn't he answering that? If that's the first fucking question that would come to somebody's mind, why don't you finish the piece of the puzzle and say, here's the deal, like, this is my formula to help you with this, because there's no formula. It's individual case-by-case basis. They can't even figure out whether it's 15%, 12%, or 17%. It's about this much. So, because it varies from person to person. So, the science is cool to have, and I am very interested in the science, but I also find a lot of flaws and stuff with science when I talk to these scientific experts and stuff, and they don't really have an answer, or they tell me something is impossible, but I'm like, I saw this over and over again, and I can show it to you in the gym right now for 30 years. How can it be impossible? It's like saying fucking a car with no gas can't fucking move forward. Put it on a fucking hill and take the brake off. Guess what? That motherfucker rolls forward. But they would say, well, it can't move. There's no gas in it. It can move, motherfucker. You just haven't figured it out. BioStringTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioString.com is a blog. It's a figure it out bicep, and we are out.